Today we have this airlift load lifter 5000 adjustable air springs. We're going to be putting them on the f250 and kind of helping with the extra weight of the camper. So let's bust it open and see what we got. So upon opening the box, it's pretty much what you expect. We got all the brackets, hardware. Oh, a decal! Sweet. And so we got upper lower brackets, bags, the spring cup thingies, and all the paperwork to do it. So I am expecting to have an issue with the main frame bracket because of my flatbed mount. So if you're doing this on your truck, keep in mind this doesn't work with fifth wheel plates, and if you have a flatbed you may have to move one of your mounts. But I'm going to see where it lands, if I can bolt this to the bed mount through the frame or have to cut it off and weld it. I don't know. We'll just have to see when we get to that point. But other than that, I think it's good. So let's do it. Alright, first step is jack it up safely, and I pulled the tire off already, but the first thing I want you to do while the tire is on is measure from the frame to the tire. It has to be 8 inches of clearance for this kit to fit. I had about 11.5, so no problems there. Didn't get very far yet, and we're already gonna have to start making some modifications. This is the lower bag bolt or bag bracket, and I don't know why, but 2 of my U-bolts stick way up past the spring plate and the other 2 are nice and flush, so we have to cut these off. And this bed mount is clearly in the way. The other bracket goes from about here to right there, so I didn't really plan for this when building my bed, so it's something to keep in mind. I was trying to spread the load out, and I think there was already a hole here, or maybe even 2, that's why they're close together, because I was trying not to drill the frame. So easiest, safest thing to do, I think, is going to be to cut this bracket off, install the bags, and then find a new spot on one side or the other. I get to get my favorite tool out. No sarcasm there at all. So I'm going to get all sweaty and covered in metal dust. So see you back in a bit. Alright, well, 15 minutes in and I'm to where I should have started. Got the U-bolts cut down, and I just went ahead and removed this bed mount because it just fell directly where this is supposed to go. I have them in place now. They have you just kind of assemble everything and set it up there to see how it sits and how it lines up on the frame. It gives you these spacers to keep it level and so that the top bag hits on the frame. I needed, just because of the angle of these springs, I have one on the front and none on the back, in an effort to try to level it up on the frame. And now there's definitely some wiggle room here. Looks like I'm going to hit this bolt hole, so I'll just have to put a spacer in there because it's a little bigger, but I will have to drill 3 other holes. I got it all in place where I want it. They give you measurements for like max and min here, and I just take a center punch and punch your holes. Now I'm going to take everything out so I don't get metal chips all over it, and drill. They give you these grade 8 bolts, so just make sure you get a bit that is good. I'm going to step drill it, probably starting from like 1/4 inch up to where this has a little bit of wiggle room, and then it'll be ready to install. The passenger side is done, so that's what it looks like. Got all the bolts in. The fisheye of this lens might make it look crooked, but it's lined up this way and this way. The bolts are slotted to make sure you get it lined up this way, so depending on how your frame and spring line up. And then there's a little air fitting on the top, and that'll be the very last step. We'll plumb the air lines to adjust the pressure. The book said it had to be between 5 and 7 inches between the two brackets. I'm right at 7, so hopefully my shock limits the drop of the axle before the bag itself takes that force. So, but according to the book, I think we should be good. Now we're gonna put the tire back on and move to the other side. Your kit, when you get this, is going to come with 2 of these fittings. These are pretty cool. They are push lock, so that means you just push the line in. They are a swivel fitting, so that means you can tighten this as much as you want and then still turn that. And it also comes with a thread sealant already applied, so that's pretty handy. And then the lines, you just cut these with a knife and slide them in, and they have your Schrader valve on the end. So very light too. I decided to just run the airline right now while the wheel's off, so they pushed in extremely easy. So this side is completely done. Got the line with the flatbed. It's easy because I got lots of space, but we'll zip tie this up out of the way so it's safe. And then I'll attach the other line once we get this side done. But I put the fittings right here, so you have right and left. So these are just Schrader valve, and so you set your pressure right there. I kind of put them up high so they wouldn't get, if they're down here, I get stepped on or something. So hopefully that's out of the way and effective for what we're gonna do. Now I have the extra step that most people won't have of reattaching some sort of center mount for my bed. So we'll figure that out, and then we can move on to the other side. This side is completely done now. Airline's in. If you don't use the spacer, you do have to cut, well, you don't have to, but they say these could contact the bracket, so snip those off. And I got my bed mount welded back on. I just went with that spot because the hole was already there. That was the only color paint I had. I'll have to get some black to make it match, but so this side is ready to go. Alright, we have both sides done now. My big compressor's broke, that's why I was using the lug wrench instead of my impact gun. So we're going to use our Tacklife air compressor and power pack that they gave us to put air in these bags. It won't take very long because they don't hold a lot of air. I have that didn't take very long. Ooh, they definitely look more plump. So I just put 30 pounds in it since I'm not towing anything. When we get the camper or trailer set up, we'll see how it sits and adjust from there. Right? Yep. One tip I did want to give, and most of you probably already know this, be extra careful before you drill any holes in your frame. Crawl under or feel around. This side was fine because there's nothing behind here, but the other side has a wiring harness and a brake line very close to where you will, poke through the frame with your drill bit. So make sure it's clear or put something in the way so it can't hit. And then also, when I was all done, I crawled back under there and made sure there was no dripping brake fluid or exposed wires or anything like that, because that would be a bad day. Well, that's it for today. Got that project in the books. It was not bad at all. The most work was because of the steel bed and the mounts. So for a regular pickup with a normal bed, very easy. There's no cutting or welding. Kind of all bolted right in. Airlines are super quick to hook up. So yeah, you could easily do this in an hour or two on a normal truck. So we'll do a report of performance once I get a little time hauling stuff with it, and go from there. So thanks for watching, and I think that's it. it.